her name is Elian Foxfire. You believe that was a stage name, but you imagine it wouldn't be very difficult to find more information on that were you so inquired.
Is Midak aware of this woman working at the theatre? 'Cause you mentioned that he was a construction foreman for theatres. I'm just wondering if there's any correlation there, whether he could answer that.
Okay, so Midak, do you want to give me a knowledge local on that, actually?
Yep.
Wow! That's first natural 20 of the night.
That is how it's done.
You hadn't... wow. Knowledge local, 30, critical hit. Okay, let me just look through my notes here. Okay, so you hadn't seen her personally, but now that the name Elian Foxfire has been mentioned, you certainly can remember some of your team members talking about how they were very... You definitely heard her mentioned, yes, as being someone that worked there. Not just that, it seemed that she was quite not famous, but kind of an up and comer. So yes, there was absolutely a link. There was absolutely a link between her working at the theatre nearby to where the body that you found was. Depending on. Has Alistair shared any further information regarding where the body he found was kept, or so where the body he knew of was found?
Okay, yeah. I figure I would have said that. I found it in the alley a couple of days ago, a similar type of body in the northeast side of town.
You would know, as Alistair passes on the information, you would also know, and I'll give you this. Sorry for jumping in that, but it's a crit, so it's quite pertinent information. That there is definitely a kind of location around where these things appear to have been happening, and it seems to be generally around this theatre.
So the theatre is the centre. These victims are found.
Not necessarily the centre, but certainly within. If you were to mark them on a map, you would certainly see that it's probably the largest building in that area, especially since it's near the Halfling Quarter, where a lot of the buildings have been destroyed recently.
Okay. So are we able to see whether the heart has been removed or whether it came out of the rib cage? Whether it emanated from inside?
Yeah, are there like surgical incisions, like where it's been cut out, or?
Going from your previous heal check, no, it doesn't look like surgical positions. It looks like something magical almost pulled it out, and the ribs unfolded to let it out.
Right. That sounds very, very painful.
So, you have come up with a number of different pieces of information here. In general, how would you wish to proceed?
I suggest that we investigate the theatre.
Yeah, I think sounds like a good idea.
Or at least the surrounding area.
Investigate the crime scenes and the surrounding area will definitely be useful.
I think definitely talking to the owner of the theatre and asking what he knows would be useful.
Okay, that's good. Do you want to do this all as a group, or do you want to kind of split up and do things?
Since I know that GMs absolutely hate it when the party splits up, I'm going to suggest we stay together.
Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it. I would give you the option if you so wished.
On the way to the crime scene, I just want to listen out. If I see on the way anyone that I recognise that has been in my church recently, I want to just quickly pull them to one side and just have a quick chat and just see if they know anything, if they about the person that me and my dad found, because I'd seen her in the church before.
Sure.
And while I'm at that, this corpse I don't recognise from being in my church. Like, okay, that's fine.
No, you don't get very many of the entertainer sect in your church. They tend to not be the most pious of groups.
Yeah.
Can I just add a small detail that when the group is leaving Joanna's house, they can hear the lyrebird that she keeps in a wire cage above, just murmuring what seems to be parts of their conversation in their voices.
Absolutely, you can.
I like it.
That thing rats on us. I might have to kill it.
You are aware that the lyrebird is remarkably well trained and is almost certainly not going to repeat this to anybody.
Good.
It's also kept kind of in an area where if someone was to find it, they would. Is it kept in the safe house area or is it kept in the office area?
We'll go the safe house.
Yeah. Therefore, if someone were to find the safe house, then you've probably got bigger problems than the lyrebird. So as you head out through the secret passageway, locking with a gentle thunk behind you, you start heading out towards the theatre, which, as we've said, is close to the Halfling Quarter. So let's put that up there. So as we're walking towards there, you said you wanted to keep an eye out for anyone on your from your kind of like flock, is it?
Yeah, just to sort of help gather, maybe collect some gossip.
Okay. Is this you collecting? Is this using your gossip collector skill, or are you just trying to find a specific person?
Like not a specific person, just anyone. So it would be maybe using that skill.
Okay. Let me just bring that up to remind myself. If you kind of just make me a knowledge local check.
Okay.
I think this isn't exactly how the skill works.
Yeah,
but I think for what you're doing here, just a knowledge local check, just to see if you can put yourself in the vicinity of where you think people will be. Okay, so a 19. 19's not bad. So as you're walking there, you do catch, especially as you're walking through the Halfling Quarter, the air here is any kind of breeze just stirs up the smell of ashes in the air. It still hasn't been fully fixed after the fire 3 months ago. You know that you, Medak, know that you've been working on restoring the theatre from around here. That wasn't necessarily destroyed in the fire. It was kind of damaged a little bit in the rioting afterwards. But you, Dante, as you're coming through, you know that quite a few of your flock have started coming to you in the past 3 months, just because Justitia is a very just god. There are a lot of people, especially halflings, who feel that they have not been given justice by the militia regarding the events of 3 months ago. And as you walk through the ashes, you kind of lead the group in a circuit around which you feel that will most likely bring you across some of the people that you know you'd be able to find. Mm-hmm. And as you do so, you almost don't see them. But there is a young halfling male, about the equivalent of, I forget how the halfling ages translates, but about the equivalent of a human 19 or 20.
Yeah, I think they get to adulthood at the same rate as humans, but they live longer, I think.
Okay, so yeah, he's about 19 or 20, and you've known him to be quite angry about the lack of justice that's been going regarding the fires. You also know that the elven woman who unfortunately died was also quite angry, not about that, but about the injustices that had befallen her. And you think you remember seeing the two actually talking once or twice. So what you see him. You know that his name is Jonas, and you call him over, and he looks up and says, "Oh, Father, it's good to see you." And he looks around, taking in some of the devastation. It's good to see a light of justice in this dark city. Sounds breathing.
Just a quick note. Did you say I'd I'd seen him talking to the elf?
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
Arabella, I think her name was.
Yes, yeah.
So you definitely see them talking, not like in depth, but kind of sitting at the back, kind of praying very loudly for justice against their enemies. And you didn't hear what they talked about, but they definitely exchanged short words.
Okay. Jonas, just the halfling I wanted to see.
Yes, Father.
I remember you speaking to a young elf, I believe by the name of Arabella, back in the church.
Oh yes. Oh, and he starts to wipe his eyes. It's not often that you find those not from the quarter who can empathise, but she too had felt the sting of injustice. We had talked. She seemed nice. It's a shame what happened to her. I hope the light of justice shines down upon whoever did it.
Indeed.
And he just lets out kind of a slightly high-pitched but attempting to sound brave kind of cry to the air.
Just place one hand on his shoulder and try and calm him down. Do you remember what she spoke to you about?
Mostly she was concerned with prayer for vengeance upon those that had harmed her. She seemed nervous, though. I'd spoken to her a few times. She'd been here for. She'd been visiting us for a couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
The last time that I did see her, I think it was a couple of days before she died. She did seem nervous. She seemed to think that maybe somebody was following her, maybe one of her enemies. My God, you don't think this is somehow related?
It very well could be, my friend.
She didn't say who it was, but she said that she was worried about some kind of dark figure.
Dark figure. Did she say anything else about this dark figure?
No, just that she felt like she was being watched by them.
This is most unsettling.
And Jonas looks up at you and, like, you'll pray for her soul, won't you, Father? You'll pray that Justicia will take her in and make sure no one can hurt her again?
Of course, I'll pray for her and the rest of the city.
The city is beyond prayers, I feel. But you are a good man, Father. Thank you for talking me out of doing those things.
That's okay, little one. And I'd sort of stand up. Right, Jonas, I have other business to attend to.
Of course, Father.
It was nice to see you. I'm glad you're doing well.
And Jonas nods at you, and then he kind of looks over the rest of the party and just gives them slightly confused nods as well, and heads back into one of the buildings towards the rear.
Cool.
Do you wish to head towards the theatre? Or do you wish to do anything else on the way there?
That's all I wanted to do on the way. Unless anyone else has got anything.
No, I'm good going towards theatre.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone else?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay. So, as we go over there, and I remember I forgot to put any NPC things here. This is about as close to the map as I could get for a theatre, but if you imagine that the area to the left here with the carpet is the kind of stage. Should be pinging that now. There you go. And the area with the tables is kind of where you'd have the people sitting. It's not a full kind of pew, like not pew. Sorry, that's church in Dante mode for a second there. So it's not a kind of amphitheater type. It's very much kind of more like what you'd see in like a comedy club of the tables. But as you walk, is it to the actual theater yourself you want to go to, or did you want to check the scene of the crime first?
I'd want to check the scene of the crime and the surrounding streets more than the actual theater itself right now. Okay, sure. So I will try and remember how to move all of the tokens over from sheet to sheet, because I know how to do that. You better highlight and copy and paste.
Oh yeah, cool. Can I take all of those? Oh, I can. Right, excellent. I will then. Yes, I'm learning how to use Roll20 as a DM as well. So
yeah,
it's like today. Hopefully this won't grab the body as well.